So, what's a pirate's favourite sci-fi book?
What is it?
I, Robot. Hello, all you little headset Henrys. We are giving away a PlayStation VR2 on the channel. Stick around to the end of this video to find out how to enter. Hi, and welcome back to Virtually Real. This is Carlos, and today Carlos learned a new word. Jank, jank, jank.
So am I the lady? Okay, so it looks pretty remarkable. Okay, so how do I put it back? I can't see my other hand. Come on, it's gotta be that one. What are you talking about? I'm just, because it's hard to follow the story and also worrying about what you're meant to be doing, controlling and that, but it's kind of annoying.
What is it?
It's called a trimensional thriller.
I'm just gonna shoot myself.
Hi, Carlos. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, today we put you on Journey to Foundation. What were your first impressions?
Well, firstly, as I told you before, this is my first time with VR at all, like at least in terms of playing. So I needed a little bit of time to adjust. I thought the graphics were amazing. Get distracted looking at everywhere. But yeah, playing it was a little bit, it wasn't too intuitive. I got lost a little bit on the narrative of the game while I was trying to figure out how to move and how to do things.
Few remember the name Harry Seldon, or his dream of building Foundation.
Good. Now input the code in that keypad.
How do I look it up again? Was it 604? It's because I'm doing it twice.
Thank you.
You are authorized to dock. You don't step 1 foot on my station until I know who you are and why you're here. Hands up!
Let's do as the good major says.
Now, you said you had a little bit of a problem following the narrative. Can you explain what the story was of the game?
Yes, you are someone who works for the Empire Award, and you're meant to. Someone's gone missing, but as you're going through, you find out more things that happen in terms of plotting and deserters and stuff like that.
And I found the same. I found that, especially the very first couple of people I talked to, I really wasn't taking in what we're saying, and I felt a bit lost. I didn't really know what was going on. I feel that by the time we got to the point that you got to, I kind of had more sense of what was happening. I was finding most things a little bit easier to do in the game.
It's a little bit lost. Captain Serrano.
A member of the Commission. It's an honor, Agent. Captain Indu Surana, at your service.
I need to get them to stop looking for Astoria.
Where were you when Astoria went missing?
I was off station.
There is a lot of narrative, and the way you select narrative, somebody speaks to you, you get a couple of choices, and you use your eyes to select the choice. How did you find that?
Tricky. and yeah, once you know, okay, this is a button and I have to look, but then as you remember, there was a moment that I kept going back to the exact same point over and over, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm trying not to look, and even the next time I was like, I'm just gonna close my eyes. Yeah, I think once you get the hang of it, it's okay.
I think eye tracking's, when you first experience it, is hard because it's not a natural thing to be doing, just keeping your head still and using your eyes. When it works, and it does work in the game quite well, but it's like you say, you do have to practice at it.
This was definitely not very intuitive. She looks nice.
They're cowards who disobeyed a direct order.
Good job. Now we know where to find the deserters.
There's part of me that wants to space him.
I think Dex should take a walk in the
Bye,
courtyard.
Dex.
It's your call. I'll unlock.
This one? Oh, yeah.
No, wait.
Bye. I'm the villain of this story already.
I don't know whether this game is intentionally bad. You know, at the start, the narrative's not great or strong at the start, but you kind of get it. So I don't know if it kind of is going to grow to something or whether it's just basically bad at telling the narrative that it's trying to explain. And I'm not that far in. That last scene we got where the princess was revealed, spoiler, I found that interesting. And it was like, it perked my interest back up. But I find my mind slipping out of this game a lot when I was playing it last night.
I know the whole thing is moving with me. This is pretty cool, but pretty hard. Like, I guess I can move it and then walk away from it. And then just the finger. Okay.
Now let's talk about the cubes, the hacking cubes. How did we find those?
Hopefully you have some funny footage in there.
Oh, that'll be footage.
Every time I try to touch it, I'll just move it. Incredibly tricky. And if it wasn't for, the fact that you were there sort of guiding me a little and giving me some tips on how to get there. I'm pretty sure I would have probably got there eventually, but it would have taken a bit longer. I thought it was, it was hard. Every time I point with one finger, it will move the cube. Kind of even if you know what you have to do, still very was reward you.
It's heartbreaking in a way because, in theory, it's a nice puzzle. You've got to connect the things. You've got to avoid the dark blocks, and you've got to find a path through. Yeah. And when you got two colors, when you got the orange and the yellow one, it's like, I've got to find.
You got to think about it before you do it. Or if you do it, then undo it like I did.
But it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and once you, like you said, if you use the left hand to move it across, actually the graphics are beautiful, and then you can move it up and around you, and it's fantastic. But then all of a sudden that finger will connect, and you don't know what you're doing, whether you got it straight or whether it's something that you touch in. So it's a little bit and it's frustrating to go to a point that I was like, okay, I just gotta stop for a second because I'm gonna be here for half an hour. Once you kind of figure it out, because the last go that I had, I pretty much went, and I didn't have to go one by one. I just went like I drew, which is sort of what I expected. I drew a line and I follow it, and it was a lot simpler.
Finally. Okay, so activate the torch, the shining section of the bolts. Okay. And once you know, it's okay. Okay. That looks pretty epic.
So much for their shuttle. Didn't think Hoyt had such bad piloting scores. Like you could do better. Oh, is that a challenge? I'll take you up on that when we get back to the array.
And let's talk about the voice acting, the sound design in the game. How did you find that?
Yeah, that was good.
I thought it was good too. It was like lots of different voices. See, they made you feel I think like you were part of the world almost. It didn't take me out of the world. It pulled me a little bit in.
Staff Sergeant Roto ran into this wing. If you see him, don't let him leave. Understood.
Get the Imperial.
I keep getting hit. I don't know why. It's a lot harder to shoot them too.
What the? Hands up, Roto.
The other thing I want to talk about quickly is the gunplay, because that was another part of the, part of it's the dialogue, choosing your direction. Part of it is puzzle solving with the cube and stuff like that. The gunplay is also part of it, the action gunplay. How did you find the gunplay?
In terms of shooting and coming up with a gun, it felt okay. It looked like the aim wasn't like, as the other games that I was playing before, it was like you clearly point and that's where it goes. Here, felt like I needed to shoot 4 or 5 times to get it. But maybe it was just me that I'm a bad shooter. But no, I thought that part was okay.
No, you're right. I was the same. It was okay, but it wasn't. It didn't feel perfect.
No.
Ooh, steady hand, like a surgeon.
I think this thing had enough juice left for full power.
Oh, do I have to climb all the way up? Do I have that key card? No.
Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent. You agree, Agent Ward? Guess not.
End her!
That won't happen.
Think this through, Agent Ward.
I ain't warning you again.
Mission failed.
We do this at the end of every Virtually Real. Is this game getting a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
For me, only with the time that I spent, thumbs down.
Give it a thumbs down then.
Thumbs down.
Okay. I'm going to give it a thumbs down and a quarter. I'm going to give it a total thumbs down and a quarter thumbs up. And the only reason it's got a thumbs up for me a little bit is because it's obviously going to be a very narrative-based game. Mm-hmm. And if they stick the landing throughout it with the story and it's interesting, you may be able to look over the janky parts of it. And like you said, on that last puzzle, you drew the line like you were meant to, and it was like, so maybe with a bit of time, hopefully they become less annoying, because I don't think I can do many more of them if it's still going to turn around and be janky. But in saying this as well, I've played a lot of VR games, and there's no excuse for it to actually be that bad for you to have to get used to it, if you get what I mean. That it shouldn't be like that. It should. And if it wasn't like that, if the mechanics worked, I think it'd be an amazing game, but it feels, it's not so much that it's broken. No, it is because it's broken. Take that back. It's because it's broken. We are 3 days away from drawing our prize. You guys could win one of these. Booyah, Headset Henrys! To coincide with our 1-year anniversary of creating content, we are giving away a PSVR2 headset. How do I win this magical face attachment? It's easy. Just subscribe and leave a comment on any of the videos on the channel. The prize will be randomly drawn on the 31st of October, so you might get a shock for Halloween. All that's left to say is thank you, Carlos, for coming over and playing today.
Thank you. It was great.
Thank you at home for watching. Stay virtually real. Bye.
Bye.
How do people in the future congratulate each other? They give each other sci-fives. Nerds.